IDubbbz just took one of the biggest L's ever, and you know what? He's doubling down. And in today's video, we're gonna break down the entire situation. So next month, there's this event going on called Creator Clash. If you aren't familiar with what Creator Clash is, it's pretty much like an influencer boxing match for charity. You know, influencer boxing has been a major part of the industry over the last couple months, especially with like Logan Paul and Jake Paul, KSI, they're all doing it. So IDubbbz started this whole event called the Creator Clash, where he'd get a bunch of YouTubers together that would fight and they would do boxing, and all in the name of charity. So you know what, that sounds like a pretty good thing. And apparently the first one was successful enough that they're making another one that's going on apparently on April 15th. And this was all fine and dandy. You know, a boxing event in the name of charity sounds like a good thing on the surface level, but over the last couple days things have started to go really wrong when Froggy Fresh, one of the OG YouTubers that was going to be included in this boxing event, actually was removed from the entire event for making a joke about IDubbbz's girlfriend. Yes, I'm completely serious. One of the main boxers in this entire event was removed because he made a silly little joke. Now I'm gonna play the video where he made the joke, and I want you to watch this and ask yourself, was this enough to be removed from the event?
There seems to be substantial evidence that Chris Raygun is now on Adderall. Well, young man, amphetamines couldn't save Hitler, and they can't save you either. On April 15th, if I don't hurt you beyond what anybody could have imagined, I will be so disappointed in myself that I will subscribe to Anisa's OnlyFans.
So if you're like me and you just watched that video, you're probably thinking pretty much he said nothing wrong. Now I watched that entire video and I was waiting for the punchline to see like if he said something super offensive, or you know, the head turner moment that got him kicked out of the event, you know, something so outrageous. But apparently the reason he got kicked out of the event is because he mentioned IDubbbz's girlfriend's OnlyFans. Now only 18% of the people watching this video right now are actually subscribed to the channel. Don't be part of the 81%. Subscribe to the channel, you have nothing to lose. IDubbbz has received a considerable amount of criticism over the past couple of years because his girlfriend, you know, has the OnlyFans, and apparently some people think his girlfriend is like controlling him and stepping over him apparently. And you know what, he's not okay with those reactions. He's not okay with those reactions to the point where that one silly little joke got this man kicked out. Now, if you don't know much about boxing, I mean, I don't know a ton about it either. However, one thing I do know is that these boxers take months and months to train heavily for these events. I mean, you're literally, you know, going into a ring and, you know, fighting and to try to knock someone out, as far as I know, and that takes a lot of training. And so this guy, pretty much all of his efforts just went to waste. And if you don't know why he was making this video, if anyone watches sports or, you know, competitive stuff, I mean, heck, even some video game, you know, like esports kind of categories do this, one of the most entertaining parts about watching these competitive events is the trash talking. I mean, building up to an event, you know, both teams are saying how they'll beat each other, and it just makes it more entertaining overall. And this is pretty much what Froggy Fresh was doing in this video, and honestly I could see nothing wrong about it. And it seems like the majority of people are on my side. Like, they watched this video and they didn't see a single problem. But yeah, he was removed from the event, and Creator Clash, you know, the event immediately got pushback. And what did they do after they got pushed back? Did they apologize? Did they re-put in Froggy Fresh? Did they say, hey, we made a mistake, we're gonna fix it? No, they doubled down. Yeah, I'm completely serious. They tweeted out, there's been a change in the lineup for the boxing event, and Froggy Fresh will no longer be fighting against Chris Raygun. We will announce his replacement in the coming days. With just 3 weeks left, the countdown to Creator Clash 2 has begun. And they knew they were going to get pushback, so they immediately turned off comments because people just don't agree with him. I mean, Froggy Fresh, I don't know much about I don't know a ton about his content. Apparently he made like some YouTube music kind of things that were super popular back in the day. I don't know who he is, but a lot of people know who this is, to the point where he was a main attraction of this event. You know, people were gonna pay to watch this event just because he was there, and they decided to double down and just kick him out. And this was obviously the wrong move because people are just flaming him. You know, they turned off comments, but in the quote tweets they were getting ratioed. You know, people just did not agree with this. And you know what, they came out with another statement with when they apparently named his replacement, pretty much saying that a Creator Clash goal is to make an inclusive and fun environment for creators and fans while giving back to charity. There has always been our mission, and Froggy Fresh's recent behavior does not align with this mission. We look forward to sharing this positive experience on April 15th. Like, what are you talking about? What recent behavior are they discussing? Now, another theory Froggy Fresh could have been kicked out is because apparently he trained with Sam Hyde for like a week for the boxing event. Now, if you don't know who Sam Hyde is, he's like a quote-unquote controversial figure in like the meme and commentary space, and he got into a bit of a beef with IDubbbz this one time. You know, IDubbbz went down to make like a video on him, and Sam Hyde didn't, you know, let him make the content that he wanted to make it, and ever since then it's been a problem. You know, they're kind of like beefing. And so one of the theories is that it was either this OnlyFans joke that got Froggy Fresh kicked out of the event, or that it was the fact that he trained with this Sam Hyde guy for like a week. But if we're going to be completely honest, both of those reasons are absolutely absurd, and in my opinion, not a single reason listed is good enough to kick him out. And the majority of people seem to agree. The tweet where Creator Clash was saying that Froggy Fresh recent behavior doesn't align with that mission has over 1,300,000 views. Like over a million people have seen it, and not even 1,000 people liked and agreed with them. I mean, that's pretty obvious to me that that's most people don't agree with them. And I think one of my biggest problems with this is that the winner of this boxing event was going to be able to donate winnings to a charity of their choice, and that's a really great thing. And apparently Froggy Fresh had this charity that helps children that are fighting cancer that he was going to donate the money to. So, and it sounds like it was hundreds of thousands of dollars, and that's a lot of money. I mean, they have sponsors for this, like big sponsors, and apparently even Jadeon, which is you know, he's a massive YouTuber right now, said if they put Froggy Fresh back into the boxing event, then he'll donate $100,000 to charity. And they're just not budging on it. And it makes me really hard to believe when they say, you know, we're doing this because of charity, but then people are like, hey, we want this Froggy Fresh guy back in, and IDubbbz says, no, he was, you know, mean to my wife or something. And even though people are saying they'll donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to charity if they let this guy back in, they're just not budging because, you know, the guy was a little mean to his, you know, IDubbbz wife. And I don't know, this is like a new low for IDubbbz. I really liked this guy back in the day. You know, believe it or not, some of my favorite content from him back in the day was the content comps, where he'd actively criticize people for not being able to take criticism. And just a few years later, that's exactly what's his problem. You know, he can't take criticism. He can't take just a little joke, even though, you know, reinstating this guy would mean hundreds of thousands of dollars to whatever charity they want, and that's a good thing. But to IDubbbz, she just can't take the criticism, so it's definitely a major fall from grace from this guy. But that's just my thoughts. You can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. The other week we made a video about the entire Quay allegations, where he responds to these SA allegations with some of the biggest evidence against, and he completely clears his name. This is a crazy video you're not going to want to miss. Click here to watch it now.